It has never been a more exciting time to be part of uni life. For most, university marks an important milestone for students. From their first experience of living away from home, to creating lifelong friendships, and to sampling what life has to offer outside of study time.
I expect it to be, fun, interesting.
Cameras exclusively followed students and staff from 8 universities as they journeyed through an unforgettable year of challenges, new experiences, and celebrations.
We graduated!
This is My Uni Life. This week in My Uni Life, we meet TU Dublin design students who are helping create a valuable leisure space in their local neighbourhood.
I'm going to take the pressure and turn it into hard work.
We are with University of Galway students who are training for the challenges of frontline emergency care.
And Connor, could you start CPR, please?
We meet UL staff whose food and kind words have become a staple of life on campus.
They know me by name, I know them by name, they know other people by name.
And we look at a new software course there that is helping create the workforce of the future.
I wish I was back in my student days.
UCD has 60 elite Ad Astra scholars on campus. One of them is athlete Darragh McElhinney, who is aiming for gold at the forthcoming Olympics in France. The current 3,000 metres indoor Irish champion balances his busy sporting commitments with studying history and politics.
We're here in the student centre. It's kind of just my hub day to day. It's fairly in the middle of campus, so I'll kind of come here after a lecture. I'll just have my bag full of running gear or whatever, and then I study just upstairs there mostly. Dressing rooms are here for training and stuff, so it's kind of nice just having a base where you can be here, you can leave here to go for a run, come back, do a couple of hours of study, whatever. I'm studying history and politics. Mainly just picked it because I kind of got the idea that it would be a course that I could do that would allow me to kind of focus on my running more so. Mostly because a lot of the stuff is kind of study that you do in your own time, but also on top of that it's quite broad, and it kind of gives you an opportunity to get the degree and then maybe have a better understanding of what you might want to do a master's in, or what you might want to work in when you're older.
It's start of term on the UCD campus, and the university's sports calendar is already up and running.
Yes, we're here at the playing fields here in UCD. I kind of knew that that UCD had a great reputation for its sport. It's great as well because you are surrounded by kind of obviously sports people in your own sports, in my case athletics, but also of various other sports, and there's even UCD game on here behind us, and you kind of know a lot of lads from the team, and then also knowing lads that would represent UCD in Ireland in in their own individual competitions like swimming or whatever, and you can learn a lot from other athletes. Kind of being surrounded by so many high quality athletes since I came in first year has definitely kind of got me to the point where now I'm in fourth year, and I kind of feel like I have a much better understanding of what goes into your sport, why you do certain things that you do in order to get better.
It has been a long journey for Darragh since his early triumphs in track and field with his local running club in West Cork.
So I got into running when I was very young, kind of 8 or 9 years of age. I kind of had my foot stuck in everything when I was younger, playing all different types of sports, but I always just went down to the local athletic club kind of once or twice a week and enjoyed it when I was younger, And then I kind of made a decision when I was about 15 that I was going to give it a proper go, and I haven't looked back since. So I've got both my parents and my 4 brothers, and they're all big into it, a lot of them, my older brother runs as well, and my younger brother, he's only 9, but he's definitely coming through, and he'll be one to watch in the future. The lifestyle as an athlete is it's quite disciplined, and it's probably something that can scare away a lot of people when you're younger, but to be honest, the older I've got, the more I've appreciated it.
My name is Emmet Dunleavy. I'm coach with UCD, and I'm personal coach with Darragh McElhinney as well. So a typical week for Darragh would be training probably 12 to 14 times. He'd run on his big volume weeks. He would run probably 95, 100 miles per week, and within that then there's an additional 2 to 3 strength and conditioning sessions. Of those 100 miles, there'll be 2 hard days where he works at high intensity, and a lot of the other days then are low intensity. It's just really building an aerobic base and building his fitness essentially.
University's so social that like there's always something going on, and like you become an expert at saying no to people, which is like not ideal, but it just has to be done, you know. You can't be a world-class athlete, be a brainiac and be the life of the party. Like it just doesn't work out that way.
Darragh's a very strong-willed, very determined person. Something like that is very difficult to train into an athlete. Yeah, thankfully I don't have to tinker with that side of things too much. I just work on the physical and let him deal with the mental side.
Everything is very deliberate and everything's very kind of done with a certain goal in mind. That definitely appeals to me about it, and kind of knowing that I can make decisions that are going to give me a 1% over my competitors definitely kind of motivates me to do everything I can right and then see what result you can get at the end of it. The next 12 months or so are fairly hectic, like, so you've got 3 major championships coming up in 3 kind of individual seasons, so it is like it's an extremely busy year, and like even in between all those championships you need to make time to go on training camp and then also race the races to qualify for those championships, and I also need to get a degree in the middle of that, so I suppose trying to balance all that is like the biggest the kind of aim that you'll always have.
We catch up with Darragh later in the series as he bids to defend his indoor national title. Universities are actively involved in many important community initiatives across the country. Design students from Technological University Dublin are collaborating with the City Council on a social project that will have many benefits for locals in the Arran Quay area of the city.
This building has been empty for 20 years. We're looking to develop a space from scratch that's designed like according to the kind of programs we deliver. We have 6 after-school projects. We have about 150 young people between the ages of 7 and 12 in Dublin 8 that we deliver services to. We go in, we make food, we help them with their homework, and we'd have different sports instructors and people like that.
What sort of atmosphere are you looking for in the space?
We'd like it very open and relaxed, where people can see in and people feel comfortable coming in and just seeing what's happening.
I was always watching interior design shows growing up, and I loved them. And then at some point I was watching, I was like, I think I can do that, you know? I did my portfolio, I submitted it and just hoped for the best. And I thank God every day that I did that, because I'm here now and I got a really good score and I'm very happy about it.
It's my first year and it's so much different than secondary school, but it's so much better. Like in secondary school, there was not much I can do with my creativity except art class.
You are divided into 10 groups and everybody's going to be given a different area to design. You're going to go away then and we're going to work on this for the next 7 weeks, and then you're going to present all of it to the community group at the end of March. Take measurements. So we want to see that you can survey the building, take ceiling heights, take window dimensions.
63.
This space will be beautiful because like the natural lighting for the kitchen.
Yeah, just like so open, like so many windows.
Taking up a big project like this, as our tutor said, not every first year has done this. So it's like been challenging because you don't know where this is gonna go, if it'll turn out. And also it's like a blank canvas, so there's nothing in here.
I'm just like really excited for like to use the derelict building and then like create something for the community itself here. Say that's the kitchen.
Group 1 have the bigger responsibility to be making the floor plan for both the first floor and the second floor. So then they decide where the rooms are going to be, like the kitchen, the theatre, the art room.
I was a bit shocked when I found out I was the team leader for Group 1, because like all I literally do is talk and all, but like I am very flattered that they chose me because it does mean something. Like everyone I tell, they're like, oh, that's a big opportunity. They look at you highly and all. So I'm very flattered that they chose me, and I'm not gonna take this opportunity lightly. From hearing what he would like for the brief, I am excited to work with a lot of greenery and like flowers and plants, and bring a lot of botanical in, especially for kids, because kids love like plants and all. And I can't wait to see like how I can like work with that and make it like a kid-friendly zone, because it's not something I've done before, but I'm excited to see what I can do with use of natural lighting and everything. I'm going to take the pressure and turn it into hard work.
Next stage for the TU Dublin design students will be the presentation of their concepts and ideas on the next step to redeveloping an important local resource.
Vascular, you're on cardiac there, yeah, perfect, and clicked.
In the west of Ireland, the University of Galway is partnering with the Galway University Hospital in cutting-edge training that will have long-term benefits for patients in trauma care.
The purpose of the simulation is to support what they do in clinical practice. So they have an opportunity to practice and rehearse, and they have an opportunity to see and do things that they could never have with a real patient because they just wouldn't be allowed to do certain skills and to see certain emergencies or be involved or be immersed.
The simulations that we get to do in our clinical years of medicine really help to our learning, and they let us embed ourselves in real life scenarios that we will encounter as interns and as doctors, and help prepare us for the sometimes scary patient encounters we might get.
Having simulation on this scale in an undergraduate programme is not normal in Ireland, and having your simulation facility on a clinical site and in a university is a real strength for us, and we're the only place that have it.
Now, do you want me to come over? You have to pull that really, really hard.
Ella Murphy is leading the latest healthcare simulation exercise.
The way we run it is we do take people who are working on shift and we take them in for training. So you come in to work. We often run this first thing in the morning, so you haven't started your actual clinical role yet. You come in, do the simulation, and then go straight back to work. Okay. You have a lot of high spec equipment, and you can really create a high fidelity. So what that means is a real environment. So whether it's touching a patient and they can actually move, or whether it's that you can hear a patient when you listen to their heart, or they can even smell things or see what we call moulage, so fake burns or fake injuries. That really makes people engage in the role and feel like it's real. Do everything you would normally. We'll tell you if there's something you can't do, so just go ahead and do it. So, you ready? Any questions? Right.
So our patient has arrived.
As the team get to work, another layer of realism is added.
Today my role was actually the voice of the mannequin, to make the mannequin back to life.
Sorry, sir. Any pain in your back?
So you've seen me screaming and kind of moaning in pain. Participants go in, they can be a little bit quiet or a little bit nervous going into the room, and the voice of the patient can actually bring them back into the scenario and actually get the scenario going.
So the scenario that we were facing was a young man in a road traffic accident that his car actually plunged into the water.
He ended up having multiple injuries from his head, his chest, his abdomen, his pelvis and his legs.
He was hypothermic, which makes things very complicated to manage.
Super. We have air entry on both sides in our lungs. We have a wound to our right side of our chest. We have clearly got an open fracture to our right femur. Okay. It's very stressful to be in a simulation, so you know every time we do it you don't know what is about to happen in it.
I don't feel a pulse.
Abdul, can we get the defib please? And Connor, could you start CPR please? Some pads on this gentleman. They're very realistic and they allow us to, I suppose, practice a lot of skills that some we do very often and we do every day, and then other skills that we don't get to do very often but are very important, that when someone comes that they need us to do a certain procedure on them. These things can happen and do happen to people in real life, and they're things that you want to be ready for them.
Good finger sweep there.
I love working in the emergency department. I love the chaos. I love everything about it. The fact that you don't know what's coming in the door.
For sound reasons.
I need to keep an eye on what the people in the room are doing to the patient or the mannequin, and judging on what they do, what medications they give, or what kind of treatment they give the patient. I need to change the mannequin's OBS or vital signs to reflect that.
So guys, we got a pulse, but he's not breathing by himself, so I'm just going to keep on bagging him.
With the condition of the patient stabilised, Ella winds up the session.
Great, okay, perfect. Yeah, theatre aware, we might pan scan him first on the way up. We'll get ortho involved as well. That's great, thanks guys. We'll
perfect,
get him up now.
Thank you.
All right.
Now it's time for the team to evaluate the simulation.
We do a really detailed debrief, so that means we sit down afterwards, ask everyone how they felt during the scenario, and we kind of go through learning points.
We got through all the steps pretty well, so from that point of view I think we did really well. Well done, team.
It's really important psychologically that people feel safe doing simulation, because if you don't, you won't do it again because you feel like people might be making fun of you, or that you don't feel comfortable making mistakes, and that it's a test, whereas it's not. It's supposed to be somewhere where everyone can learn safely and make mistakes, and then we discuss it afterwards and talk about all the things we can do next time and learn from there.
This is an incredible learning resource and methodology for students and for the hospital. It is the power of it where you can train undergraduates and postgraduates and everybody together, and they can see each other training and continuing to learn. I think it's so important for students to see that once they qualify, it's lifelong learning. We're always improving. Things always happen in healthcare that we need to address.
So we're just doing some investigation. Once I think I finish medical school, I would love to continue with the simulations. I think as a working professional, there will always be room to grow and room to understand. And if I'm working with my future colleagues, I think it'll let us work in a situation that we might face in a real life setting. However, doing it in a safe, simulated environment allows us to work through any challenges we may have.
Darling, your hot chocolate. Have a good day, my lovey. All right.
The University of Limerick is busy welcoming thousands of students and staff to campus. A group of women known as the Pink Ladies have become a bit of a college institution in their own right.
Go on, have a tea. I'm gonna have a tea. Do, have a tea.
I love the Pink Ladies. They're so friendly. Every time you come in, they're never in bad mood.
Hot chicken wrap?
They're the heart and soul of the campus. They bring up everyone's mood. Everyone talks about them.
I have 2 essays coming up. They know me by name. I know them by name. They know other people by name.
No, I'm here 15 years. To be honest, I don't really treat it as a job. Like, I just come to work. I enjoy it. I enjoy meeting people.
A little bit of banter, a little bit of crack. And we have people from Canada, America, Northern Ireland, South of Ireland, all over the world coming to us, and we treat them all very well and very nice, and they seem to like us, which is the most important thing.
Everyone, when they find out that I work here, are like very jealous. I don't have a pink shirt yet. I've been waiting for 3 years now, so it's a long time coming, but I think maybe my graduation gift from the ladies will be a pink shirt, and I'll wear it around campus for a bit of celebrity appeal.
Vegetarian quiche Lorraine, homemade. Because we have a lot of vegetarians, we have a lot of vegans, so we try to cater for all diets.
They do really good sausage rolls for breakfast.
Everything is lovely.
Are you all right there, Libby?
Hi, can I have a latte, please?
You can, of course. How are you today, Paige?
Same old, not too bad.
The new academic year brings new customers such as Rosie.
I think they're all beloved by the university. They're kind of like all our adopted moms in some sense.
Rosie is part of the very first cohort of students in the Immersive Software Engineering course, ISE.
I'm studying ISE at the University of Limerick. It is a brand new software engineering course. It has a very small class size of 27 pupils. We get to have a master's in 4 years. You also get to do paid placements at different tech companies, which is fantastic. You get to have real industry experience. You get to travel around from second year onwards, which I'm super excited for. I get to see the world.
A software revolution is helping to create exciting new opportunities in the worldwide tech landscape. University of Limerick engaged with leading world technology figures such as the founders of Stripe, the Collinson brothers, to help develop a course that will create the tech leaders of the future.
First of all, can I just say in general that software excites me full stop. So if I was to describe what do I like about software, when I solve a problem, I have a program, it solves a problem, it works correctly, passes all the tests. I get the feeling I have, I think, might be, how would I best describe it? If I'd won the All-Ireland Camogie or All-Ireland Hurling or maybe a Fields Medal or a Nobel Prize, I have that sense of satisfaction. We want to intentionally blur the line between industry and academia. There's a lot of research and development in industry. We want to bring that into the classroom, etc. And a lot of experience and expertise that we also want to bring in, make available to the students. I'm very jealous of them. I wish I was back in my student days.
The biggest thing that maybe that I wasn't expecting about learning computer science this way was the focus on soft skills as well. So we have a lot of lectures from experts.
People would ask me, what's the tallest, right?
Rosie, Adam and the other ISE students get regular expert tuition from renowned visiting innovators in education and tech, such as Barry Floyd from Cal Poly in California.
First of all, when you evaluate yourself, you get to think about how did you play a role, but then you have your colleagues also say, well, this is what I saw.
So today's project as part of one of our soft skills lectures was to build the highest tower possible with 30 mini marshmallows and as much spaghetti as you could use. So we were drawing designs on the whiteboard for a while, figuring out how wide the base needed to be, what shape it was.
The role I took was more organising everyone, coming up with ideas, allowing others to share their ideas, repeat stuff, explain their reasoning.
One of our mottos is learn by doing, and this is what we apply to the students, but it also applies to us. So this is a pioneering course. Every day there's something new challenges, new opportunities, etc. And I'm constantly learning. Lectures that I prepare today will need to be refreshed, updated, reviewed and revised next year. And one thing I can guarantee is change is a certainty.
There's the problems here. This needs to be stronger, doesn't it? It's a very competitive course. There are only 28 places and a lot of applications. So obviously everyone in the classroom is quite competitive.
What's it at?
It was a very fun project. It got very intense. As one group finished, they go and watch the next group, and like, oh damn it, he got it higher than we did.
If we look over the last 5 years, how society has changed so significantly, it's impossible to predict where we will be in 5 years' time. So software engineering is an opportunity for people to contribute to that change, to that revolution. So rather than sitting on the sidelines, to be at the heart of it, driving it, and be a force for good.
Later in this series, we will see how Rosie is getting on in her work placement. Next time on My Uni Life, we meet the University of Galway archivist who is responsible for the historic archive of former President Mary Robinson.
I have good news for you, Niamh.
You've got more buttons.
I've got loads of stuff.
We visit the DCU team who's creating new STEM-related signs for the deaf and hard of hearing community. We are on the sidelines cheering on a Maynooth University Scholarship student in her final year on campus.
I was the first girl ever to get the Ruby Scholarship in Maynooth.
And we catch up with 2 members of Trinity College staff who have seen a lot in their day.
I always look at it as a brotherhood.